Hello everyone, it's the UK Resistance. My goodness, I've been busy for the last few days making videos. Did not expect to be making one this evening. But I happened to look at the news again. Like I mentioned in my last video, I do that. I just have a quick gander every now and again. And this popped up, and also one of my subs had commented in one of my videos about this attack. But I had already started looking into it, so I'm just going to present you with what I found, as brief as it may be. So we've had a report of, and this is the Daily Mail, of a machete-wielding man screaming Allah Akbar. Kills one person and injured several others during rampage, or is that word they love that word rampage, in Hamburg's supermarket. I'd just like to add, and I haven't really got no major evidence of this, but I had noticed the common ground here that the G20 summit in July or June, I think it was, whenever it was this year, was held in Hamburg around this same area, and they a lot of the protesters went on massive rampage and ransacked lots of supermarkets in the area. So I don't know if they're keeping this common thread of supermarkets in people's heads, I don't know. But anyway, there's a link there, I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but someone out there might know more. So anyhow, let's have a look at the details of this. So, man ran into a shop before stabbing one person to death and slashing 4 others. Okay, onlookers followed him and wrestled him to the ground. And German media say attacker screamed Allah Akbar. Okay, so what I want to draw your attention to here is the headline saying machete-wielding man. Okay, when you go down to the story, it says a man wielding a large kitchen knife. Not quite a machete then, no? Okay, killed one, wounded 4 others after storming into a supermarket in the German city of Hamburg. Okay, so the attacker is reported to have screamed Allah Akbar before running into the shop, where he stabbed one person and slashed at 4 others while trying to flee. Okay, so while he was trying to run away, he slashed 4 other people. So the witness to this Allah Akbar is, I can find him, not you, is this guy. Now, just like to warn you, this is in German, so I have no idea what he's saying. But you can very clearly hear him say Allah Akbar when he's describing it. So I have to apologise for not being able to translate what he's saying, but you're going to get the gist of it. And this guy here in the background is quite interesting. Now, when we deal with crisis actors, and we're assuming that this is a crisis actor, well, I am assuming it's a crisis actor. I have no proof that it is either way, but I suspect he may be. They usually have a handler. Now, I don't know for sure if this guy here in the background is a handler, but he acts similar to one. So he's quite close to the guy as he gives his statement. He seems to already know the story because he's nodding as the guy is describing what's happening. He's quite stiff and stern, as if he's paying close attention. So anyhow, just keep an eye on him and listen out for that Allah Akbar. Nodding.
Ich sehe einen Mensch da in die Ecke reingelaufen. Der hat
Nodding.
wahrscheinlich Fahrrad aufgeschoben. Und da war noch einer in diesem Wagen da. Hat 3 Leute erschreckt und dann schrie bei Blockhaus Allahu Akbar. So ein Messer in der Hand. Und die Leute, bleib weg.
So he did a glance over at the camera. The guy said Allah Akbar. He glanced across. Yeah, he's acting a bit suspicious for me. Anyway, this is the witness that claims he said that the guy that was stabbing people shouted Allah Akbar. He was pursued by passers-by who wrestled him to the ground and called the police, who later arrested him. So that statement in itself is strange, because if a guy's gone into a supermarket, he's stabbed somebody, He's slashed at 4 other people while trying to run away. And then he's not pursued by the people in the supermarket. He's pursued by passers-by who've obviously been walking past the supermarket, who would have seen someone covered in blood run out of a supermarket with a knife in his hand, and they pursue him. Okay, this is not impossible. I'm just trying to put the image into your head of what they're saying has happened. They wrestle him to the ground, call the police, and they later arrest him. So we have this. This is actually this is the guy on the background here that you can see. This is the guy that has knifed people. So this is the attacker. This guy is congratulating this guy, again in German. If someone can speak German and maybe put a little comment in down below sort of explaining what's being said here. I'm assuming like he's shaking his hand as if to congratulate him for helping capture this guy with the knife, because this guy here, whose hand you can see, the white guy, he starts talking to the camera as if explaining what's happened and who this guy is on the floor. There's a couple of things I want to draw to your attention in this video. I'm going to tell you at the end because I'm interested to see if you notice it yourself.
Habt ihr ihn gestoppt oder was? Was?
Der ist halt Messer auf den rein in Edeka und stoppen mich. Eine Mischung gestoppt. Weißt du warum?
Jetzt ist gerade ein Terrorist erschossen worden.
Okay, so firstly, if I take it back here, you notice that the minute it starts raining, everyone ducks under cover. Even the police officers kind of move out the way and leave this guy just out in the open, like handcuffed on his stomach. Just, yeah, you can just lay there, mate. It's raining. I'm not getting wet. Okay, so there appears to be blood around his face, which apparently was caused when people took him down. So the guy that was being interviewed witnessed him being brought down by members of the public. I don't think he actually took part in it. Where the members of the public are, I don't know. They say that they were carrying chairs. Why they were doing that, I don't know. Again, this goes, if you remember the London borough attacks, people threw chairs at the attackers. It's like this, you know, ordinary objects are used as weapons now to defend ourselves because we're not allowed proper weapons. We're not allowed to defend ourselves properly. We have to use normal objects like glass bottles and tables and chairs, apparently. So another common thread. Excuse me. So yeah, this guy's laying down. He's not being held. Okay, so he's not got a weapon on him anymore. He's unlikely to get up and run, but would you just leave him laying there? What are they waiting for, an ambulance? Would they not at least have one person resting their body against him? A knee on his back or just next to him? Not only is it important in case he tries to hurt somebody, safeguarding is also important for prisoners. You have to make sure that they're not going to hurt themselves or come into any danger themselves, because remember, this person is not actually charged with anything yet. So they just left him there, which is, you know, quite interesting. But the thing I wanted to see, if you noticed, is right at the beginning. See if I can pause it on a good bit so you can see. Be patient with me, please. Oh, here we go. Hang on, I should pause it. 1 second. I'm trying to get it. No, I'm trying to get it on a good bit. I think I might just have to. Okay. Can anyone see what this guy's name is? I noticed it, and at first I thought it was where he worked. But then I realised after searching the name of it that it didn't exist. But actually it's his name badge. And actually if you look at it closely, I think it says that's a T. And that says Arab.
Was? Der ist halt Messer auf den rein in Edeka und stoppen mich.
almost like the Arab. Yeah, just they put these little, I don't know if they're Easter eggs or these little things. I mean, it looks like a little stick-on badge. I don't know, but I don't believe that's his name. Anyhow, just thought that was quite interesting. So. Let's have a look. So he's rushed to the ground. Yep. One officer said there's no valid information on the motive of the attacker who is yet to be identified. Right, yeah, that'll all come out. But this was great, this bit. I love this bit. So, German Daily Bild, I'm assuming it's a newspaper in Germany, published a photo of the attacker in the back of the police car. Okay, with white, blood-soaked bag over his head. Of course you would have. Maybe that's why they haven't identified him yet, because he's refused to take this bag off his head. Who put it on there? He was on the ground. He was on the ground perfectly fine in this video, and between then getting into the car, someone's put a bag over his head, a white bag that's now covered in blood, which doesn't really look like blood. That doesn't look like real blood. How bizarre, I've never seen anything like it. This police officer who's got his hand on his shoulder has leaned forward slightly in order for this guy from the newspaper to take this picture. And he's not taking it through a window. The door of the police car's open. He's been absolutely free to take this photo. How does that ever happen? That's not normal either. So they're getting all their shots, they're getting all their angles. All these people have been approved in advance. It's just my opinion. It's classic. But the bag on his head. Maybe he wasn't paid enough to show his face. Maybe he wasn't paid enough to do a disappearing act once he's been put in pretend prison. So he wants to keep his identity covered so he can carry on with his normal life. Because in this video, you don't really see what he looks like. So he can just, pick up where he left off tomorrow. No one would be any the wiser. So moving on, I'm just going to go through some of the pictures that they've put out. So this, for instance, is the air ambulance. And I thought at first that this bus was a crisis bus, but it's not. Feuerwehr. I can't do German. I did German at school actually, but yeah, it was a while ago now. So this is actually a fire truck. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like one, it looks like a bus. But, the fact it looks like a bus could be used like a bus, could be a crisis actor bus. Doubling up, yeah, wouldn't be unheard of, possibly. Anyway, that's just speculation. So the air ambulance here is parked. So you think, right, okay, so it's there for the person who's been stabbed, possible people that have been stabbed. I'm assuming now that a little bit of time has passed since the actual incident. They've got cones out, they've got vehicles out, they've got tape everywhere. And this air ambulance, I don't think is going to be needed. And I think they knew that, and it's parked there for effect. Because if they thought it was going to be needed, why would they park it? Bear in mind where this is. I'll show you. So this is the supermarket where the attack occurred. We'll come back to this in a second. Lidl's and Woolworths. Those are this is the main area that we'll come back to in a second. But that air ambulance is all the way. This will catch up. 277 metres down here. This building here is this building here. And you can see the V in the road, the fork in the road is here. Let me just come back a little bit. Yeah, so the fork in the road, this is this building here. So the air ambulance is parked here. And I measured it on the maps as the crow flies, which is almost as straight as the road, but at 277 metres. Yeah, that's going to be really helpful, having it that far away. So then we have this lady collecting evidence. And I noticed in Germany what they do, I don't know if it's common, I should imagine it is then, that they spray this bright yellow spray paint or whatever it may be around an area that they consider to be of importance or evidence. This area here where these steps are, I'll take you back. It's back up where the supermarket is, slightly further down. So just here. Okay, so these steps here. So she's collecting evidence outside the front of these steps. And this here is where the supermarket where the attack took place. So the attacker ran down here, possibly. I tried to find where this video has been recorded, but the problem I've got is Google Maps, as you can see here, is old for this street. It's 8 years old, and so the paths and the shop fronts and things have changed, and I cannot pin down where that piece of footage was taken. So good luck if someone else can. That'd be great, and then we can maybe put into perspective how evidence got all the way down here. So she's collecting evidence. Again, she's got netting on her hair and a mask on and some gloves, but she's got her Nike on, and she doesn't look very forensic-y to me, but there you go. It might be different in Germany. We're going to come back to this picture here. I've got some footage with that on it. Again, I love this picture. I love this picture. Right, now what could be more important in a crime scene than someone who's dropped a bag and their yogurt? Yeah, serious. Guys, a yogurt's been dropped. Highlight this area for forensics. Really? It's obviously important to them. German people love their yogurt though, don't they? Maybe that's what it is. They love their yogurt, I think. So yeah, getting suited to boot, going into the supermarket, collecting evidence, lovely old lady being helped away. And it goes on, the classic pictures. Yeah, some of these I've got covered in a piece of footage that I'm going to go through. So yeah, nothing much more there. So this piece of footage is great, and I'm going to try and, I might pause it a few times and just go through a few little bits and pieces with you. I hope I don't forget everything or anything. There's quite a lot in this video I want to point out, so forgive me if I kind of go backwards and forwards a little bit. I'm just trying to remember all the things I noticed. So here we go. This is someone filming the scene. Okay, so here's Woolworths on the corner over here, and so the actual scene is up here, along here.
Yeah.
I believe this guy is one of the allocated camera people that we get on these events. He seems to capture a lot in this moment, and lots of different newspapers and websites have used this footage. What I'd like to mention to start off with is if they've taped across this road, right across to here, and you assume that is because the actual event happened over this side of the road. But then what confuses me is all these people, I mean, they're walking on both sides of this tape, so it's not there to cordon off or separate a crime scene of any type, or to make sure pedestrians stay on a certain side of the road. This becomes more evident in a second. It's a free-for-all. Just walk wherever you want, mate. Don't worry about the tape. Maybe in Germany they don't care. Okay, so more of the yellow spray on the ground. More yogurt. This woman happily doodling across the road. And cue the ambulance. He does a little hand signal in a minute. I'm not sure, up and down. I don't know who that was to, with the cameraman or not. Who knows? Again, here, see this big, it's really weird spray here. And just to make it clear why they've sprayed this area, they've sprayed the word Blut in it. Right, it's pretty evident what it means, but just to be sure, I've done a German to English translator, and Blut means blood. Okay, just to be sure you understand that. So, yeah, so they've literally circled an area of blood and wrote on it blood. Whose blood? I don't know. Because I don't think this is the area that, no, this does not match the area that that guy was taken down. It's quite a long way from where anyone was attacked. So what would blood be doing there? Makes no sense. Can't get my head around it. Also, keep an eye on, look, here we go. Police tape all along here, right? Going across here and across here. I thought it was to separate this piece of path from where this piece of evidence is. But there's kids and stuff going into this shop. So they're free to walk along this path. Make any sense, and it gets worse. See, tape all the way across here. So maybe this area is okay, and it's this area over here with the police officers that you're not allowed to go. But no, this woman is walking over that side. These people are free to come and go into this area. And in this cordoned off area, like I mentioned, people are still going in and out of the shop. These are those stairs, and there's a highlighted area around here and one around here. I'm assuming one of these is the picture that we saw of the forensic lady collecting. I think it's this one. Yeah. So when there's a free-for-all, people can wander in and out of police tape, apparently in Germany. And perfect timing to watch this. I mean, please, please, please. Do they look like real officers to you? They look really, really clumsy and awkward. I'm just going to take that back slightly. Just watch them come into frame. Look at this guy. He's like, oh, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Yeah. Look at them walking in a group like that. What are they needed for? It's over. The people are gone. The ambulances have taken injured away. Things cordon off. What's the point in that? Then he swabs. They go off there. It's a bit blurry. He virtually walks over that blood. Oh, and there was a piece there that we missed. Let me just go back. I'm going to make this one, let's try and make it clearer. It's very blurry. Just try and make this catch up a little bit. This guy here just steps over the tape and wanders into another area that's supposedly a crime scene. People are going in any direction they please. Look, he's got a camera and he's just stepped over that tape. This is the guy that just stepped over the tape and is now heading over to the fire brigade. What's the tape there for? It looks like that guy was off to do the same thing. And that's where the air ambulance is, like I pointed out. So yeah, really, really weird. Okay. Yeah. So it looks weird to me. I'm not happy about it at all. I don't think I missed anything out. Yeah, just keep an eye on this. It wouldn't surprise me actually if we didn't really hear much more about it. It's one of those events like everything else. It's there to scare, and it does its job at the time. They'll throw it out every so often. Like when we look at the news about this actual event, they churn out about a stabbing of a teenage boy in Hamburg in October. They talk about a 16-year-old boy who was fatally wounded with a knife. They talk about Germany as a target for jihadist groups. They go on about the Berlin truck attack. So they just regurgitate all of the awful so-called terrorist attacks or events to fearmonger everybody. And that's what this is for. It's just an excuse to put on a show and remind people of everything bad that's gone wrong and why they should be scared. So there you go. Absorb that, churn it around, and go to bed because it's late. Oh, and have a yogurt.